This is Best Girlfriend Award of 2020. For Christmas, I got The Spell of the Yukon and Other Verses by Robert W. Service, 1907 first edition.
Woo!
It bears this handsome man's signature and likeness. Man. Just incredible. And copyright 1907 by Barson Hopkins, it says.
Wow. You gotta put that under glass.
I know. I'm gonna do that right after I read this. And I should probably get a highlight marker and just
yeah, get your favorites in there.
But I had a couple people in here yesterday who had never heard of Robert Service, and I was like, what?
Wow. You know which one I like is The Men That Don't Fit In.
The Men That Don't Fit In. You want to read?
Yeah, I can read that one.
Yeah. Where is it? Let's see.
It's right here. Keep going right there. It's right there.
Oh, here we go. Number 75. I'm going to hear from Johnny Waken. This is a special treat here. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to sing it. I mean, I'm going to say it in a different language. I'm going to do it in Russian.
No. Just go ahead and do it in English this time. Just this time.
Okay.
And then maybe we can do the translation later.
The men that don't fit in. There is a race of men that don't fit in. A race that can't stay still. So they break the hearts of kith and kin, and they roam the world at will. They range the field, and they rove the flood, and they climb the mountain's crest. Theirs is the curse of the gypsy blood, and they don't know how to rest. If they just went straight, they might go far. They are strong and brave and true, but they're always tired of things they are, and that they want the strange and new. They say, could I find my proper groove, what a deep mark I would make. So they chop and change, and each fresh move was only a fresh mistake. And each forgets that he strips and runs with a brilliant, fitful pace. It's the steady, quiet, plodding ones who win in the lifelong race. And each forgets that his youth is fled, forgets that his prime is past, till he stands one day with a hope that's dead in the glare of the trust at last. He has failed, he has missed his chance, he has just done things by half. Life's been a jolly good joke on him, and now is the time to laugh. Ha ha! He is the one of the Legion lost. He was never meant to win. He's a rolling stone, and it's bred in the bone. He's a man who won't fit in.
Oh!
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there.
Oh. All right. Huh?
No. I want this. Can I have this?
I get it.
Oh.
Oh, man. I'm going to read one, too.
That's a great book.
It's so great. And Robert Service, he made it sound easy. All the internal rhymes in the line just make it real sing-songy and almost like a Dr. Seuss or like a children's book, you know?
Yeah.
But it is so hard to write this way.
I know it's long, that Cremation. It's Sam McGee's.
You know what? It's long, but I'm just going to give it. I'm going to give her right now. This is my very favorite Robert Service poem ever.
This is a long one.
It's a long one.
All right. I'm going to sit back here and have a wee dram.
But it's called The Cremation of Sam McGee. And if you're not in by the end of the 8th line, I don't even know why you're tuned into this live stream, really.
Maybe I should play some howling notes on the saw back there.
No! The Cremation of Sam McGee. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Labarge. I cremated Sam McGee. Now, Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the South to roam round the pole, God only knows. He was always cold, but the land of gold seemed to hold him like a spell. though he'd often say in his homely way that he'd sooner live in hell. On a Christmas day, we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. Talk of your cold! Through the parka's fold it stabbed like a driven nail. If our eyes we'd close, then the lashes froze till sometimes we couldn't see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. And that very night, as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, and the dogs were fed, and the stars o'erhead were dancing heel and toe, he turned to me and, "Cap," says he, "I'll cash in this trip, I guess. And if I do, I'm asking that you won't refuse my last request." Well, he seemed so low, I couldn't say no. Then he says with a sort of moan, "It's the cursed cold, and it's got right hold till I'm chilled clean through to the bone. Yet 'tain't being dead. It's my awful dread of the icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear that foul or fair, you'll cremate my last remains." A pal's last need is a thing to heed, so I swore I would not fail. And we started on at the streak of dawn, but God, he looked ghastly pale. He crouched on the sleigh, and he raved all day of his home in Tennessee. Before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. There wasn't a breath in that land of death, and I hurried, horror-driven, with a corpse half hid that I couldn't get rid because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh, and it seemed to say, "You may tax your brawn and brains, but you promised true, and it's up to you to cremate those last remains." Now a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the days to come, though my lips were dumb, in my heart how I cursed that load. In the long, long night, by the lone firelight, while the huskies, round in a ring, howled out their woes to the homeless snows, oh God, how I loathed the thing. And every day that quiet clay seemed to heavy and heavier grow, and on I went, though the dogs were spent and the grub was getting low. The trail was bad and I felt half mad, but I swore I would not give in, and often I'd sing to the hateful thing, and it hearkened with a grin. Till I came to the marge of Lake LaBarge, and a derelict there lay. It was jammed in the ice, but I saw in a trice it was called the Alice May. And I looked at it, and I thought a bit, and I looked at my frozen chum, and then, "Here," said I, with a sudden cry, "it's my crematorium." Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found that was lying around, and I heaped the fuel higher, and the flames just soared, and the furnace roared, such a blaze you seldom see. And I burrowed a hole in the glowing coal, and I stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I made a hike. I didn't like to hear him sizzle so. And the heavens scowled, and the huskies howled, and the wind began to blow. It was icy cold, but the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, and I don't know why. And the greasy smoke in an inky cloak went streaking down the sky. I do not know how long in the snow I wrestled with grisly fear, But the stars came out, and they danced about, ere again I ventured near. I was sick with dread, but I bravely said, I'll just take a peep inside. I guess he's cooked. It's time I looked. Then the door I opened wide, and there sat Sam, looking cool and calm, in the heart of the furnace roar, and he wore a smile you could see a mile. And he said, please close that door. It's fine in here, but I greatly fear you'll let in the cold and storm. Since I left Plum Tree down in Tennessee, it's the first time I've been warm. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who moil for gold. The Arctic trails have their secret tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake LaBarge. I cremated Sam McGee.
Good one.
It is really something to hold this book and to think that when someone else held this book, when it first came out of the store, off the press,
Yeah.
they had never heard that.
Yeah.
It wasn't something that you'd be like, oh yeah, I remember this one. It was brand new, and I'm sure it rocked their
Do you
world.
remember in Chapel Hill, the bookseller?
Oh yeah,
Man, I love going in there. You
I
find
know.
a book like this in there.
I know, right?
Yeah, I missed that place.